Welcome to my journey of becoming a mountain man.
On this journey, Buckskin Part 2. Now that the holidays are over, I can start back on my project of making my mountain man jacket. In this video, I'll be cutting out the sleeves and fringes. So I need to be careful about cutting leather so I do not waste it. For one, leather is not cheap. Because of that, you do not throw away scrap leather. The cost doesn't just depend on type of leather, but also the size of the leather and thickness. As you've seen from part 1, this is my third sheet of leather. With my work boots on, I stand about 6'4". That is roughly about the size of John Wayne. Since my size is a large tall, that means my arms are slightly longer. That's another reason why I don't buy a buckskin shirt. By making it myself, I can make sure the sleeves are at the proper length. So I need to place the template where I'm maximizing the amount of leather I'm using. I need to get 2 sleeves and 2 fringes from this one piece. As you can see, this leather is not completely even, but the template does fit it nicely. All I need to do now is just trace it out. At this point, I gotta be careful about my tracing and then cutting. I don't want the template to accidentally shift on me. I'm using a metal ruler with a charcoal pencil to make sure the lines are perfectly straight. At this point, I'm adding an extra inch to the sleeve for the length of my arm. The sides and bottoms are easy to do because they're straight, but the upper part is curved. Now that it's traced, I can start cutting it out. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Since I added the inch to the sleeve, I will be using the cutout portion as a template for the next sleeve. When cutting leather, be sure to have a cutting board underneath to protect your tables and countertops. Now that I have both sleeves cut out, I can start on the fringe. The fringe isn't just a decoration, but is also a form of camouflage to help break up your silhouette. The fringe I'm making is going to be slightly shorter than the sleeve itself. According to Google and Wikipedia, the fringe also helps draw off water to keep the buckskin dry as well. Now that I got all the patterns cut, I can start assembling the sleeves and sewing up the sides of the jacket. Sewing is the most tedious part about leather work. First, you have to pre-punch the holes before you can use needle and thread or sinew. With a hole punch like this, or you can use a sewing awl like these. The one on the left uses a sewing needle, where the other one is a straight punch.
So very old one. So like the wind.
I prefer to take my time, thank you very much. Once I got it sewn up, all I need to do is turn it inside out and start cutting the fringe. But first, I have to close up the side of the jacket. When sewing, I am always pushing the needle up through the bottom of the leather, never through the top, like in this diagram right here. And do the same with this sleeve. Then repeat the same process for the other side. This is how you attach the fringe to the sleeve, by placing it inside and folding the sleeve over to where only the edge sticks out. Once I got everything in place, I use squeeze paper clips to hold everything in place while sewing. Here's a close look at those stitches. When turned inside out, the stitches will be concealed on the inside of the sleeve. Unlike the first sleeve, I'm going to be turning the jacket inside out to make it easier to sew. I'm using clips to hold the sleeve in place because leather is more denser than fabric. With the sewing done, I can start cutting the fringe on the bottom. Once that's done, all I have to do is finish the neck area for lacing the jacket top. And there you have it, a handmade mountain man jacket.